Our next guest is a mom with 2 young boys who took it upon herself to create an app to help keep her family safe. The app is called Mama Bear, and Robin Spoto joins us today to talk about the issue of online safety. Thank you so much, Robin, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And so we saw some activities for some little ones. You've got some older boys who want to play with technology, and it's like, okay, where do you even begin as a parent to keep them safe?
Yes, so you hand them as a gift the most powerful device you could possibly give them, and you have to do it with some sense of peace or security that they're learning how to use it responsibly. So one of the first things I did with my boys when I handed them their first cell phone was talk about the consequences, the exposure that are in their hands, and we created a cell phone contract among each other.
Oh, so like not the normal contract you have with your carrier. You have a contract between yourself and your children.
Right. This is a family contract to talk about boundaries. How many hours a day are you allowed to use this? When is the appropriate time? What kind of apps should you use with it? What happens if you lose it? Whose responsibility is it to replace it? So you talk about all of these things as a family, and you put it down in a document, and both of you sign it. It should be no different than the values that you put in your family with day to day. Don't say something you wouldn't want somebody to say to you when you're talking about social media and texting. So all of the family values that you want to create in the contract.
And then the cell phone itself actually has a lot of wonderful apps that can protect your family as well that parents really should dive into.
Well, the cell phone itself has device settings that every parent should be sure that they check out. On iPhone, within the device settings itself, you can put parental restrictions in there for in-app purchases, content based on age and maturity, as well as in-app purchases. On Android, those settings are in the Google Play Store itself. So go to those settings to restrict content of certain apps, movies, music.
Now let's enter Mama Bear app, the app that you created to monitor location, social networking, and even texting. I mean, that sounds very valuable. How are you able to do so, and how have you seen parents being able to utilize it?
Well, parents use it for the all-in-one feature that it has, and how easy it is to have a family feed of this information of your child's most important activities throughout the day. So when they leave home and they're walking to school, or they get to school, or they leave school, you can set up those places as notifications for arrivals and departures. And then for social media monitoring, they can set parameters that they want to know. Certain words, they build a word list of things they want to know that are being said to their child or by their child. So that bullying monitoring starts to happen, as well as text monitoring for Android devices only at this point. And driving speed. So how fast are you going over a limit that I'm setting for you, and where are you when you're exceeding those limits?
And I was going to say, this is one app that combines a lot of useful tools, but there's also other apps that you do recommend to parents just to get the whole realm of protection, the most that you can do at least.
Correct. So carriers, the carriers themselves, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, they all have apps that can help you with data usage.
Oh yeah.
My kids love games, and games are data hogs.
Yes.
Social media are data hogs when you're not on a Wi-Fi network. So having parental control to be able to set restrictions on how much data certain lines can have, or even being able to see how much usage that has, is really important. And then another app that I really like, it's more of a device for in-home, it's called Circle. They've partnered with Disney, and what it does is connects to your in-home Wi-Fi network, and it allows you to manage devices that are connected to that network. So time limits, you can set a bedtime for certain devices.
Oh, so like it shuts off at that time, or it lets you know?
That's right. The app use or the phone use shuts off at that time. Internet use. It also allows you to see how much time you're spending within certain apps on the phone. So even for yourself or your husband or your children, I see my kids playing Candy Crush way too much. Let's limit that back and try to find another game that might be more educational. So you get to see all of this information in a dashboard and in an app, control it in your own app, and manage your in-home devices. Partner that with Mama Bear and carrier knowledge, and you have a full package for keeping your family safe.
And you and I were actually talking off camera. You said one of the other important factors, communication.
It is your first line of defense. Have an open line of communication with your family and your kids. Make sure they know the consequences. A new school, a new job, anybody along the way is going to check out their social while they're building their digital reputation, so make sure it represents them correctly.
Well, thank you so much. Great tips in a very scary world as a parent, so we really appreciate your time. Thank you again, Mama Bear. You can always get more information on our website, tbmorningblend.com.